they don't really panic.
Yeah, that's true. They tend to kind of, I don't know. Thank you, doctors, for that. They tend to kind of lighten it and put it in such a way that it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
They give you that feeling, right?
Yes.
Because I had similar experience
Yeah.
there. Hi YouTube, welcome to my channel, Journey with Kelleen. So I'm in a different place, a different setting. Beautiful background, right? I had to take this shot. Anyhow, this is my friend Nisi.
Hello.
She was in one of my videos, maybe one or two videos back. She's a very good friend. I met her at therapy. So I'm still in the area where my child goes to therapy. So her child also goes to therapy there. And I just want to hear her perspective when it comes to dealing with kids with disability, because I know I'm not the only one who is going through the struggle, and I never assume I'm the only one. So, Nisi, could you tell me more about your child, please?
Kayla was born 24 weeks. Her weight was 1 pound 8 ounce. No, 9 ounce.
Wow.
And she was this tiny thing. We were in the South Miami NICU for almost 4 months. She had 5 surgeries. She almost died.
Was she full birth?
She was, yeah. I had an incompetent cervix. I started bleeding, so she came. Imagine 24 weeks. Something just.
Wow.
And so, they treated her.
She was
the
small.
surgery. She was. It was just.
We would say
unbelievable.
tiny.
It was just something that you just couldn't believe it. All these tubes and all this leads and
a human being.
a human being. And so, I just couldn't be with her. Like hold her or anything like that. We're going back and forth.
Yeah.
We will be excited. My husband and I will be excited traveling to South Miami to see her, not knowing what to expect, because they will call you if something was going on, but when you get there, it's something different what she didn't like, and they talk to you in a way that it's parents can tolerate it better. They don't really panic.
Yeah, that's true. They tend to kind of, I don't know. Thank you, doctors, for that. They tend to kind of lighten it and put it in such a way that it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
They give you that feeling, right?
Yes.
Because, I had similar experience there. So,
yeah, so to make a long story short, after 5 surgeries, 4 long months going back and forth, she finally comes home with no oxygen. She was on a ventilator
for all that time.
Like for 2.5 months.
Wow.
And remember, the longer that you're on the ventilator,
it's more damage it
it's
can do.
damaging, right? Especially to your vision too. People don't know that, but now I'm telling you, yes, it can lead to.
Because I know of a case where the child spent too long on the ventilator and the child is unable to walk. He's unable to function right now. He totally disabled.
You have the brain bleeds. You have so much going on.
Wow.
And you say to yourself, is she gonna make it? I don't know.
Yeah.
But you never think of the what the outcome is gonna be. But she was released from the hospital. This was in September 2019. She came home.
Woo.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, that was a fish.
That was a big fish too.
Diagnose it again.
Okay.
Just for the viewers, I already know.
Okay, when she was released from the hospital, everything was resolved. But she was diagnosed after 1.5. I saw that she started having delays. 2, I noticed that she was exhibiting this behavior.
Oh.
That it was just
This
different.
was different from
I didn't have no experience being a mom, but I just saw something. I don't know. I thought that something was wrong. Sure enough,
moms know best.
When she turned 2.5, almost 3, she was diagnosed with autism. And so she wouldn't answer to her name. She wouldn't answer to her name. She wouldn't follow directions. She wouldn't articulate. It was really discouraging. When I noticed how behind she was, and I just started crying. It was just heartbreaking. So of course, I stopped working right then and there. Right. So you have to reach the resources. Right. I quit my job and then work with the resources to make sure that she went to school, that she had the therapies, everything that she needed.
Yes.
And sure enough, she has advanced, and a lot of praying. There's gonna be nights that you're gonna wish you were dead. when you hear stories in the news, for y'all that don't have kids with autism, you hear stories. Well, the mama killed the son, and then she killed herself. It's real, but I will tell you the reason why. I will tell you the reason why. Let me break it down to you. You have a kid that don't really sleep at night, doesn't sleep at night, so you don't sleep, and during the day they hyperactive. So you don't behind them. You have to be behind them. You can sit down. There's no such thing as you're gonna take an hour or two break. If you don't have any help, you're gonna wish you were dead. So you better pray like there was no tomorrow, and I hope you have that support, because you're gonna live through that. And then she had that gastrointestinal regurgitation, so she had to be fed every 2 hours, and then we had to hold her, so we couldn't sleep.
No,
my husband stopped working. We had all the retirement money gone, $140,000 completely gone. Why? Because when you make money, the system doesn't really. You gotta use your money.
Here in America, once you're not working, and if you have a saving, that's gonna be depleted so fast.
It's gonna be depleted. Once it's depleted, then we'll come in and help you. But anyways, needless to say,
which is so not nice from a system perspective. It's like you gotta be on your face for them to actually give you some help. It's just not fair.
And it's just not us. It's a lot of kids out here that need the services, that are American citizens, and they don't get nothing. They don't really get, but they don't get much.
Yes.
They don't get much. I won't say they don't get much.
Because a lot of times they gotta be like down, like so below. Yeah, gotta be basically totally dependent on the system, if you understand what I mean.
Yes.
Like once you're working a certain type of job, bringing a certain income, bye-bye. Even when you're struggling, that's the worst part, because there's a lot of working poor.
Yeah.
But the system does not recognize working poor, which is such a huge...
No, when you have a kid with autism, you're either rich, or you're either poor. Yes. You cannot be in the middle.
There's
you don't get any help.
No, but for me, I don't even think it's just even autism. I think it's overall disability. Especially when the child needs that 24/7 care and therapy. It's crazy.
Man, I will say this. Compared to the camera, the wind is nice, but compared to other countries, this is the best country because they offer so much. So I am thankful to be here, to be in the United States going through this. There's countries that, hey,
because I ain't gonna lie, I can talk in my country, Jamaica, right? We don't have the system that's here. And I'm not trying to compare Jamaica with America, because remember, America is a first world country. We're just a developing nation, right? I know America has been through trials and perfected certain system and still needs to continue. However, I'm just saying, when I was there, I didn't have any access to no form of physical therapy when my first child was born, right? And then when he was about, I don't remember, maybe 1.5, 2 years old, I went to this. Funny enough, Nisi, it was a Cuban doctor that I went to.
Well, thank Fidel for that.
No, the Cuban doctor said to me, she's Cuban American, guys.
No, I was born in Cuba.
Yeah, but you're Cuban American.
Right? Well, you're an American citizen.
Yeah, she's an American citizen. She's Cuban American, right? However, he told me that there was this place in Buffalo, Portland. I'm from Portland, Jamaica. That some parent was telling him about. He could only give me some direction, right? Because he himself didn't know the exact place. Now let me tell you, if you're from Portland and you're watching, and if you know where the hospital that they closed down used to be, it was behind the hospital in those bushes. And I'm not joking, it's behind. They were shut off from the public. But I found it, and there was this one therapist. She was a PT. She came there once per month, and she would show us, show us things that we could do to improve the child's, mobility and things like that. But it was one time a month, right? And you get like 5 or 10 minutes with her, because I'm telling you, sometimes you have all 20, 30
Yeah, it's like seeing
waiting.
You're visiting a doctor, basically.
Yeah. But that was it. There was no other avenue. I know now that they made a school, in Buff Bay and all that, but it's still not the same. Yeah. How do you think you would be if you say you were in Cuba compared to
Well,
here?
let's see. Right now, Cuba's 24 hours a day. They only have light 4 hours a day. They have no medications. They have no. A friend of mine right now, her brother had internal bleeding. He lost 120 pounds within 2 months or something like that, and no medical attention. He has to travel to Havana, but if you don't have dollar bills and you don't have hookups, they don't transfer you to a good hospital. So Cuba's like planet Mars.
Hi guys, thanks for still being here. If you made it this far in the video, guys, and you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe, guys. It helps to grow the channel. If you have any comment or if you have a question, you can leave it in the comment section down below, guys. I also want to apologize for the audio. While we were recording it, the wind in the background was very heavy. Therefore, you hear it sometimes. The audio is very difficult to hear. So again, thank you for being here. In terms of therapy again, right? Would you say that therapy really helps? Because sometimes I talk to people and they will ask, "But do you see?" I see a huge difference in my child. You know, like for instance, 2 of my kids has the disability, and with Matthew, you can see so much more improvement compared to Killian, who did not get the services. You know, so do you think the therapy is helping your child, Kayla?
Therapist definitely helps if you are in the right therapy center. If you have the right therapist, I've been through 4 or 5 different centers
Before you get the right one.
but once you're in the right center and you have those type of therapists that actually care, that work hard, you're good to go. You're gonna have to make a sacrifice. You won't be able to work. You're gonna have to travel back and forth, go to school, go to therapy, but you will see the improvement.
You'll see the improvement. That is true.
You will see the improvement. So you will make that sacrifice, but it's worth it because at the end of the day, you want the kids as functional as possible.
Yes, that's my objective too. It definitely helps, and the more therapy they can get from a young age, it will help them to function better in society, you know? So, yeah.
I believe so. I think therapy, prayers. This is. I don't know. People say, "Well, you think it's medical or spiritual?" I think it's spiritual too. I do.
You gotta have faith.
I think you have to have faith. So you have to be praying for endurance.
Yes.
Patience.
I for keeping safe.
Yes.
I'm laughing now, but let me tell you, man, these kids. I know regular kids drive you insane because my daughter, nothing is wrong with my daughter, but special needs, guys, is at a different level. Up here,
it's times 5.
Yes.
Hyperactivity is times 5. You won't be able to sit. You won't be able to move. I mean, I'm big because I love to eat. I love sweets. I love soda. But honestly, with Kayla, I mean, the minute you sit down, they're doing something off. Something dangerous. So
you got to keep your eyes.
You got to keep your eyes open. So if you're one of those that say right now you have your menstrual cycle, and you're really tired and sleeping, you didn't sleep through the night, you just want, if you're one of those things that you want to die, guess what? Pray and stay up.
Yeah.
That's it. So it's a struggle. It's a work in progress. But you know what? It's funny because I think this happened to our kids because they know that mothers, we love our kids. Because if it's something that I have to do for somebody else 24/7,
I couldn't keep up. I could not keep up.
I don't care how much you pay me. I want to do it. So it's a mother, the love of a mother makes you
do it.
Do all these things, you know, or make this sacrifice. It's the love of a mother because nobody will do it. And when you think that these kids that we have, you got a babysitter, someone that's going to offer to help or whatever. I always say no because I know it's a lot. I always say no because it's
sometimes,
just a lot.
Sometimes you got to take the help, Missy. You got to take the help because it helps to refresh you and then rejuvenate you.
You see, now I'm taking my little break, but I know that if I give her to my neighbor, she's going to be jumping on the bed, running around, and my neighbor has to deal with that. I think that's a cross that we women mothers have to bear. They're not going to stay like this forever. They grow up, they mature, you know what I'm saying? And they'll be more functional. There's some cases that I see that they end up in a home.
Yeah, I don't think I would love for my child to end up in a home, but I am not going to rule it out. However, I would not want my child to be in a home.
I wouldn't allow that to happen to Kayla.
You know, I wouldn't.
I mean, that would be like I love that girl. I love her so much. I would be devastated, but I would just be there with her. That's what I'm saying. This it will be one of those sentences that you're gonna be like for life. That's why I want her as much as possible. Yeah.
It's a lifelong duty, but one that takes away from your I can talk about myself. It takes away from my whole being. You know, my life is no longer about me. It's more about them. You know, that's the sad part, and that's some of the worrying part too. Because for me, her child is able to walk and function. In my case, my child doesn't walk and needs more attention. Does your child? Kayla doesn't need a diaper. She does?
No.
Right. My child is still in a diaper. So sometimes when I think about this, to just deal with them for the rest of my life, I'm not gonna lie. It's tiring, and it's also suicidal. I ain't gonna lie.
It's suicidal.
It is, and I bleed. My heart bleed for them, because that's no way for like a human being to live. And then for me as a parent, like my life is just consumed for them, by them, So of course my friend Nisi here, when I come to therapy, I'm telling you, it's a huge break. I get to talk to someone that actually experiencing similar situations.
That's right.
Guys, I do have friends who have kids, but it's still not the same. It's not the same like talking to someone who has. It is the same for you?
It's not the same. When people have normal kids, they don't want to associate with you.
Oh yeah, that too.
I'm
not all the time.
Not all the time, but and that's fine. I don't get upset when people don't have these problems. You just become like a stranger. Hey, hi, how are you? But your life changes, and I don't blame you, because I'm gonna be honest with you. Maybe if I didn't have Kayla, you think I'm gonna be around that? No.
We gotta be honest to ourselves. That is true.
No.
Because why I laugh so hard, I think it was Daniel, my kid's father. They used to say that he used to tell me, I think it was him. If it's not him, let me know if you're watching this video, Daniel. If it wasn't you. But I think he always said that Keeniel is my firstborn. Keeniel, calm, you Kelly. That's what he would say, right? Because I could not deal with these guys. But let me tell you, dealing with them, it has taught me so much patience, And I'm still not even there yet. But dealing with them, I do learn that. And you gotta be, you just have to be there. You gotta put yourself there. It's not a 1 foot in, 1 foot out type of care.
You have to be there. That's in your mind, everything, your soul, everything.
Yes.
I tell you, this is something. Listen, for the stuff that we have to go through in this life with all these kids, we have the key to heaven already. I'm
Jesus, if you're listening upstairs.
I'm joking.
No, I'm not joking. It's better be open. When I knock on that door.
This is hell on earth, honey. When they say hell on earth.
Exactly. I'm already living my hell. Why would I want to go to hell, huh? You better put me in that. And I want the best room too. Because when I get there, I want to just
chill and relax. I just want to go to sleep. The sleep that I'm going to get on earth, I'm going. No, but seriously, it's a struggle. But God knows what He's doing. And I trust God, so I always say He has a purpose, but do I want to live like this?
I don't, but do I have a choice? I don't.
No, we don't really have a choice. We just hope for the best.
Oh, now that we are on that topic too. So I do get this saying or talk, like parents, or even if they're not parents, they'll say, it's because you're a strong man. God chose you.
Oh, yes.
How do you feel about that statement? How do you feel about that statement? Do you think God chose you because you're stronger?
I don't know. I don't have an answer. I don't know. They ask me all type of questions. They ask listen to me for a second. Most people that I know that would have had special needs and don't have, they would have been great parents, no matter what, because they love their kids. So I don't think it's that.
I don't think it is either.
I don't know. I don't know God's mind. But I'm gonna be honest with you. If that's it, that's it. But I'm telling you what I think, and I could be wrong. But the mothers that I know, if they would have those special needs, they would have taken care of them for life. So I think it's maybe, I don't know what, maybe certain individuals that get that privilege.
Listen, Jesus, I'm calling on you again. I didn't want it, take it. But yeah, I don't think it's because we are stronger than nobody else. I don't believe in that either. It's just that it came to our door, so we have to deal with it. I always say to whoever would say that to me, I will say, listen, if you were in the situation, you would find the means to survive, and you would find the means to help that child however way possible.
That's why I tell you what I tell you. This is an emotional blackmail, because it happens to our kids. So it's not like we have a way out. Because if it would have been somebody else, yeah, you will help, but no, I'm not gonna kill myself either. But it's just, that's why it forces you to be there, because it's your kid and you love your kid. It's an emotional blackmail, man. I'm telling you, that's what it is. But I mean, I'm doing that to the parents. Yeah.
No.
There's a lot of people out there that are struggling. A lot of autistic kids. I don't know if it's the food or vaccines or God knows what, but
yeah. Do you think we have more kids that are coming into this world with
most definitely
disability compared to before?
Most definitely. I don't know what happened here. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they did, but the kids are coming like
especially with your disability, autism. Like, autism is a significant amount of people, are kids that has autism, compared to before. Was it the case? Do you think it's the case they were misdiagnosed back then, or it's just significantly higher now? Because
significantly higher.
I think it's higher.
I mean,
but I ain't gonna lie. I've been to school. I've been to school with a couple kids. They might have been
something's up there. Something's missing. A few marbles, right? Loose screws.
Listen, that's not to like. That's not to shame anyone.
We laugh. I laugh. Whenever we struggle like this, we just laugh. We have to laugh it off. My friend, she's so medicated. She told me she went to the therapy center, and one of the kids was like arguing with her. The kids were like, rah, 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 rah. He said, rah, rah, rah. Those stuff that you have to like deal with. I don't know what to tell you. And you laugh. People were cracking up. People were laughing.
Let me ask you. What are some of the things that Kayla say or do that really cracks you up? Because that's another thing too, guys. Like, even though these kids are like problematic and a burden sometimes, let me tell you what, you get some of the best laughs.
Kayla can be wicked. Kayla can be manipulated too. She likes to manipulate. Let me tell you something. Her grandmother, my mom, she hates snakes.
She hates what?
Snakes.
Oh, snakes.
Right, snakes. So we went to this place, Monkey Joe's, right? That was recommended one of the therapists that she had. A great place. So we bought this big snake, stuffed animal, huge. Right, the snake is beautiful. It's a stuffed animal. So I said, Kayla, take the snake.
I can see where this is going.
I said, Kayla, take the snake and give it to Grandma.
No, but you're set on there, Nisi. You're no better than Kayla.
I was always bad. I think that's what I'm praying for. I'm paying for my sins, because I did a lot of stuff too when I was a kid. Bad stuff, man. And so I'm paying. So I'm definitely paying. So Kayla took the snake. She said, Grandma. My mom said, no. She was coming out of the bathroom. Grandma, here, take it. And she threw the snake at my grandma. After that, she was sick for 2 weeks.
Oh, who was it? Kayla or your grandma? Oh my, karma.
Another thing that she does, she's sneaky, because she'll wait for you. She's like, you carrying the groceries, right? And I used to do that. Like, I will have friends coming over, so when they get to the doorstep, I would just slam the door and go sit down and leave them waiting outside and laugh. Guess what she does? That's exactly what she does. If she sees you coming in, she'll wait for you to come in, and then she'll slam the door in your face. Explain that to me, and then she laughs.
She inherits from you, man. She inherited from you. For Matthew, when you're walking, Matthew just time you and just hold on to your foot. You just fall over if you're not careful. This is the worst one, right? for Matthew to, if you're carrying him and you buck your toe, he's gonna crack up. But poor thing don't even know that if you fall, he's gonna. But Matthew not gonna stop laughing.
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, they can be
funny.
so funny.
They're funny
at times.
And then she knows she's sitting there. She tells me when she's sitting in McDonald's or the fries, she's like, instead of saying hot mustard, she says hot monster. Oh, Lord have mercy. I'm telling you. I am telling you, these kids are funny. Like, Kayla be cracking me up. Kayla cracks me up.
Yeah, they do have their own sense of humor. Let me tell you, man. Like, even today, I was coming in the car with Matt, and so there's this one CD in the car that keeps repeating. If you're in the car with me, right? Mm-hmm. So Matthew knows almost all the songs on there. So once it starts playing, I'll be like, Matthew, sing. I'm not just singing along to that CD, you know, even you can recognize some of the words, but some of them you can't recognize when he says it. But I'm telling you, it's the exact song. Mm-hmm. That I like to smile about because I know that he's learning, you know, he's retaining things, which is also good, you know. Another one, Matthew would tell me where his glasses is in the morning. So he'll point on it. Or he will remind me that I didn't put on his glasses, which is good too. So this morning I asked him, Matthew, where's the glasses? Matthew was like, I don't know. Listen, guys, that was the first time I heard him say it. I don't know. Like, I don't know. He can say stuff, but to say all three in a sentence like that, and he literally did not know for real, because what? The glasses was not in the spot where it normally be.
This kid's advanced. I'm telling you, these kids are smart.
They are.
Kayla can play. I told you, Kayla can play piano.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what I tell you. They're smart. It's just that, yeah, they be doing something off. Like they go off. Like they do something.
Yeah, they will be in the middle of something, and I don't know, man. Something in the head just say different, and they're gone.
And then you have those kids that just get close to your face and they just start touching you like that.
They're like, yeah.
What do I call it, pragmatics or something like that?
Oh.
Yeah. And
yes.
so those are the things that's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
At times it depends, because let's talk on that. That's right. There are people who sometimes, because these kids, they're so loving. I don't know if they don't know 8. That's why I know 8, you know, you learn that. It's not naturally in you, because these kids does not exhibit 8, guys. They don't.
No, they don't.
And when you shout at them, or you know, they know the difference in your tone. You can see that they're a little, you know, they're like shy, or you can see like they want to, sometimes they will cry too, you know. So I know that they don't know 8. Right, so I'm saying sometimes we as special needs mom, we got to be like careful how our kids approach other kids or even parent, because they like to hug, they like to touch. Not everybody, you know, like that. So we got to teach them that, you know, you can't just go about and just hug someone or just touch someone and stuff. Sometimes people will say, oh no, it's okay, it's fine. And then others, it's different, you know, it's different. So we gotta constantly remind them.
There's people that are not going to change. They are who they are, and I believe that. So that's why I'm overprotective with Kayla. My husband says, well, let her be free. I said, no. Because I don't want her disturbing others. I don't want her being discriminated. And she will, you know, these kids do get discriminated, unfortunately. So I always make sure. Thank God, like that kind of like slowed down, and she's 5.5, so she's not doing that like she used to when she was little. Thank God. And so, but yeah, you have to struggle. It's just a constant struggle. You take them out, and then people stare. That's another one. Like you're from planet Mars. And so, but that's fine, because I don't criticize other people, because I'll probably be doing the same thing if I.
Yeah, I always sometimes say, if I didn't get this first-hand experience, would I be like them? Because ignorance is a bliss, you know. If you don't know, you just don't know.
Yeah, but anything that's different, we stare. I mean, I went to CVS one time, and I was trying to get some makeup, and this gentleman, very nice, had a beer, have long nails, makeup. That's different. That's something that you don't see every day.
Right.
So I was
And
staring.
naturally, we're going to stay.
So naturally, just like if somebody's different, we're gonna stare. If they're acting funny, we're gonna stare because we have like standards, we have behaviors that and so etiquette. That's how they call it, right? And so when you don't follow that, and you're because you're different, God made you different. People will not understand that, and people will stare. People will criticize. Not a people are gonna stare. People won't criticize because
Once it's different, yeah. So we just have to live with it. But I ain't gonna lie, here it's not a lot for me. I don't, I get to experience it sometimes, but it's not a lot compared to my country where I'm originally from. So thank God for that. I get more friendly, more people who wants to offer help.
In America, people are more. It's just how you see it so much that people now are getting used to it, like disabilities.
Yeah, they're
and I don't stare because I don't know. It's just something common sense. Don't just look one time and go. That's it. But I don't stare.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in for this one. This is my friend Nisi, and this is Journey with Colleen. Bye.